One of the fiercest Pier 6 brawls in ring history took place recently when K.O. Cat tangled with Killer Angora in the grudge fight of the century. They traded punch for punch, and neither gave an inch until the final bell. Killer's paw was raised in victory, but a rematch seems assured as K.O.'s managers screamed they smelled a rat somewhere. Good building movers are hard to find, but the enterprising Marvin Slide Rule, undaunted by the shortage, has gathered around him the best building movers in all building moviedom. Now, he has the Funny World Symphony entertain here. He lets them dress comfortably and furnishes the most ideal conditions. The job of moving this 102-story building to the empty lot on the corner can now proceed and probably will be resting comfortably on its new site in a few years. Good thinking, Marv boy. Where there's a will, there's a way. Move that building. Transincidental Airways are inaugurating through flights from coast to coast without a single stop. Transincidental President Kookie Kuppenheimer demonstrates that children will be permitted to fly free from Tuesday to Thursday. Now, this great time saver is only one of transincidental services. They also give free lessons in wing hopping. It will save time when you fly. No more waiting for that plane. Transfer in the air. See how easy it is? The Funny World Bureau of Standards and Testing Laboratories put this box through the most rigid tests. Here we see staff members and the FW security police watching a test during which this box will be subjected to the harshest treatment possible, including kicking, stomping, jumping, and walking on it, in all kinds of weather. Now, if the box survives these exhaustive tests, it will be approved. So the next time you see a wooden box, remember to look for the FW seal, and also remind yourself of the hours of testing by this devoted staff. Funny World salutes you, Super Box Testers.
$117.
Funny World takes you to Inner Spring, Indiana, where a course in mattress testing is offered by Inner Spring U. And these exclusive FW films show the intensive training required to turn out mattress testers in sufficient quantities, lest we fall behind the rest of the world in this critical area. Special instruction in ticking, tearing, and button popping make Inner Spring graduates particularly desirable, and they command salaries 35% higher than the nation's average in this field. This is indeed an age of specialization. Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to witness a portion of a rare motion picture find recently unearthed by the Funny World Archaeological Society. Technicians have restored these films that are over 3 million years old of the titanic struggle between the prehistoric Brontosaurus and the Pithecanthroposis. These primordial jungle titans, mortal enemies, engage in this Herculean battle for their very existence. Funny World realizes that it will be criticized for exhibiting such violence, but feels it has a duty to the community. We hope you are not offended. Funny World cameras were on hand recently when arch criminal, a 136-time loser, was transferred to a security prison upstate. Arch, defiant as always, told his captors no maximum security pen would hold him. Judge Julia Jurisprudence admonishes Arch to be a good sport and do the 199 years like a gentleman. And despite all the special precautions taken, people on the ground were appalled to look up and see one of the most daring getaways in history. He is still at large, and it is speculated he hitchhiked on a passing jet. While Funny World does not condone crime, it is impressed by enterprise and resourcefulness. So, with some qualification, we salute Arch Criminal. That's right, Arch. Barcelona, Texas. Funny World's annual dairy and livestock show got off to an auspicious beginning when prize golden Guernseys were led into the judging circle by their proud owners. The lovable bossies were awarded blue ribbons for number of quarts a day, coloring, conformation, and of course, willingness to cooperate. Dog may be man's best friend, but we say the kindly cow runs him a close second. Here we are in Primate, Pennsylvania, where 11-year-old Ralph Ripened, heir to the ripened banana fortune, was recently feted at a birthday party given in his honor by his father, Banana Tycoon. Mr. Tycoon is rumored to have spent over $75,000 on this affair, which was the social bash of the season. Ralph and his friends cavorted around the pool during the day and danced all night to the music of socialite band leader Orang W. Atan III. Dinner consisted of such oriental delicacies as peanut butter on a flaming sword. Happy birthday, Ralph, from your friends at Funny World. Vertigo, Virginia. Hugh Manfly, mayor of Vertigo, undaunted by an elevator power failure, goes to his office as usual. As Hugh put it, it's just what the burgers would expect of me. Mayor Manfly, Vertigo's chief executive, loses no time getting to work. And here, Hugh stops to catch his breath for a moment. Our equally undaunted cameraman, Otto Focus, left the party to record the event. Mayors all over this funny world can well be proud of their fraternity. There's Otto. Hi, Otto. A new blue serge suit with the built-in shine. It's for fashion experts everywhere. Hey, it might catch on. Pilot Phil Flyshacker forgot his lunch the other morning and had to radio a friend to pick up the forgotten peanut butter sandwich from the Flyshacker kitchen table. Well, the friend obliged, but when Phil went down to get it, he discovered it was tuna fish and angrily knocked it from his friend's hand. Oldport, Rhode Island. The annual Oldport Mozart Festival got underway as the brilliant Funny World Symphony Orchestra and Acapella Society sang and played their way into the hearts of music lovers everywhere. The group, under the expert tutelage of Funny World's head janitor, Harold C. Cacophony, had practiced daily for a year and were primed for this international event. An Oldport barbershop quartet won the coveted award, and we're sorry to report our guys finished out of the money. Cacophony, in an emotional outburst, told the press, "It's only a stinky little medal anyway. I'm just sorry for the kids." Hitherto unreleased candid films of a notorious ring of artillery thieves show them selecting a new leader. The new chief is initiated in a strange rite. An alarm is sounded as Funny World security police close in. Contractors who forgot to build a basement in the 60-story office building obtained the services of Palms Jackson, internationally famous building pusher. He will push down until the first floor becomes the cellar, and so on. The operation will probably take all summer. Annapolis, India. The wife of crack race driver Gordon Crankcase pleads with Gordon to give it all up for her sake. Mrs. Crankcase shouts to her husband, who, ignoring the exhortation, is only spurred on to greater speed, but he loses, he claims, because of the distractions. A new dance craze sweeps the country. It's a simple dance requiring little foot motion. Now, these gorgeous models are demonstrating the technique. Notice the rhythmic motions and the fluid swan-like grace. She's the third one from the left. Her full name is Grace Swan-like. The noted dance instructor, Mr. Hopper, known to his friends as Claude Hopper, puts the girls through the paces. After long, tedious hours of teaching, the girls are ready for the big time, and they'll soon be seen on your TV screen. The rapidly diminishing herds of reindeer that once roamed the Northwest have troubled zoologist Donner N. Blitzen since he was a small boy. Mr. Blitzen was determined to do something about it and pledged to devote his life to a solution. Funny World's cameras were on hand recently when Donner announced that he had successfully trained the common variety of African lion, which all agree there is an overabundance of, to do everything a reindeer can do, including guarding a sleigh. Dasher, as Donner calls his rain lion, still finds it difficult to accept any role other than king of the jungle, but seemed willing to learn. The demonstration failed to produce any orders for rain lions, and Donner N. Blitzen and Dasher returned home rather sadly. As you can see, Dasher has that hang lion look. men will be interested in a new innovation in self-sealing pants pockets, which close automatically when turned upside down. Now, this device prevents your change from spilling out on the floor. And this demonstration shows these dump-proof pockets are practical. Despite the protests of purse manufacturers who say they are a fad, inventor Titus Gabardine says he'll be in production in a week. Turnabout, Tennessee. Wally Wet Flippers and son Wally Jr. are the world's first trainer seals. Together, they teach men to play Yankee Doodle on the pipes and bells and to catch fish in their mouths. The Wet Flippers have remarkable patience and are now working on a very difficult trick. They will train a man to dive out of a pool, pick up a bugle, play the call to colors as he raises a tiny flag on a cute little flagpole. It should be quite a trick if they can do it. Curvature, Colorado. Hopeful entries in the Miss Billboard contest line up for the judging as a panel of tattoo experts examine the girls closely. Now, these tattooers will select one from the group, and at professional rates, she will travel around the world displaying such messages as eat at Joe's, smoke El Ropo's, and vote yes on Proposition No. And there's the winner, Shirley Shoulder Blades, displaying the form that won her the coveted title. Shirley will prove conclusively that it does pay to advertise. That is, on Shirley. If you don't believe it takes physical stamina and courage to become officers in the Funny World Navy, you just look at these cadets as they enter the Funny World Naval Proving Grounds. The grim looks of dogged determination and the square-cut jaws of these recruits, as they are subjected to one ordeal after another, should prove forever. There is no place for a sissy in the FW Navy. We at Funny World feel safer with them guarding our seas. Glad to have you aboard, men. Our Funny World cameras take us to the Chessie Cat Toothpaste Factory, where at last we can see how they get the toothpaste into the tube. Here we see expert tube fillers, highly trained technicians who have been selected for their extreme skill and delicate touch as they fill 1,000 tubes a minute from this giant hose. Industrial science marches on. Test pilot Irving Flap of Futility Aircraft scores another first. After months of fighting through red tape, Irving at last has been awarded an exclusive license to operate the first messenger service between here and the moon. Irving stands by his spaceship just waiting for someone to send a message. Good luck, Irving! In Buggy Beach, Bavaria, where the bugs are a real headache, our Funny World Research Department has shown testing a new kind of headache pill. Being made of thymochlorometaphyl containing lead, these pills have a money-back guarantee. If any bug is ever hit by one of the things, it's guaranteed he'll get a headache. A big bouquet to our Funny World Research Department. A Funny World salute to Homer Hogwash, who has the world's most dangerous job. Homer's job is feeding the man-eating South Tasmanian square-headed philabiters. Although these vicious beasts are slow, the danger lies in their ability to hypnotize anyone who looks at them. So we salute Homer Hogwash, who's been feeding these terrible creatures for 17 years without ever looking at one of them. Funny World's cameras show the latest thing in figurines, just the thing to decorate your mantelpiece. There are many figures to choose from. Instead of this statuette showing the finish line at Kentucky Derby, you may have a genuine replica of Eldad Bung, inventor of the bung starter. Or a 60-foot bronze tableau showing Lefty Kreutsch making his famous touchdown for Slippery Rock. For further information, write Big Marblehead, Funny World. A Funny World salute to deep-sea diver Plankton Float. When swimmers at Kooky Beach, Carolina complained about holes in their bathing suit, Plankton found the trouble at once. Giant underwater moths were eating the bathing suits. Now Plankton, brave and fearless, carefully places giant mothballs in the ocean to eliminate these uncouth monsters. Plankton Float, hero of the week. Funny World's cameras focus on an exciting toy boat race in the Neverglades. These clever wind-up imitation speedboats actually look like the real thing. Of course, the most unusual fact is that these plastic people so closely resemble real people. They are the work of world-renowned doctors Lionel L. Shape and Dudley Crease. Notice the crowning achievement of the two men as their most spectacular result to date actually heads for the beach in a simulated landing. Who knows, next they'll be making plastic grass and plastic sand and plastic fire, even plastic surgeons. This long, thin ballroom almost stumped inventor Ludwig Flip. Ludwig looked the problem square in the locomotive and decided to put wheels on his brainchild. Thus, the world's first mobile dance hall was born. Now, it is possible to board Ludwig's traveling dance palace in New York and speed all the way to New Jersey in a period of less than a week. This fabulous dance step Ludwig is demonstrating here is known as the choo-choo-choo cha-cha-cha. And at 10 cents a dance, it's cheap, cheap, cheap for a choo-choo-choo cha-cha-cha. Straight from the marsh swamps of lower Pandemonia, our ace cameraman Autofocus has brought us these exciting pictures of the world's two remaining prehistoric monsters. These films show a terrible fly-handed gullwing fighting a ferocious pygmy water buffalo. Funny World salutes Autofocus, Photographer of the Year. Oh, that's not Otto there.
$123.
In the dark jungle of Last Chance, Nevada, these two witch doctors are scolding their tribe for having bad habits. While the 83-year-old witch doctor on the left chants what the bad habits are, his father keeps time on the Hogan twanger. I'll translate for you that ancient wise saying, Humla bom tuba no TV in TP, which means if you don't put the top back on the toothpaste, you'll get no television for a week. A new recreational program for the US Calvary. In this clever game of skill, whoever is it lights the fuse on a 12-pound bomb. Now the idea is to throw the bomb to another player before it goes off. If any player can carry the bomb to the other side of the field and back again, he shouts, "Ollie, ollie, oxen free." It's loads of fun, and it separates the men from the boys, rather suddenly. Players affectionately call this game The Last Time I Saw Paris, in honor of its inventor, George Paris. A special tribute to our cameraman, Autofocus. Here in his hometown of Gadget Bag, Kentucky, the folks pay tribute to Otto for his great contribution to photography. You see, Otto has invented a left-handed camera, so now everyone can take pictures. Congrats to Autofocus. This cleverly designed swimming pool vacuum has seats for 3 people. As it cleans this lovely pool, the owner happily throws in chlorine tablets. In these exclusive Funny World films, we see how golf champion Gregory Divot makes his famous winning stroke. After conserving his energy by traveling in a special caddy cart, Gregory approaches the ball with perfect form. Notice his tailor-made golfing togs, which gives him freedom about the arms. Now, here he goes. It's going to be another perfect shot by Gregory Divot, world champion golfer. Funny World salutes you, Greg. close look at Chief Concrete Tester Tender Noggin of the Sandy Base Construction Company. Tender is about to swing into action as his fellow workers help him on with his testing helmet, making sure there's a snug fit. Tender has devised his own method for testing brick and concrete. There he goes, testing the strength of this brand new smokestack designed to last 100 years. We salute Tender Noggin, concrete tester par excellence. This huge airship on the bottom is being held against the smaller airplane on top by a marvelous new airplane glue of unbelievable strength. Chief Test Pilot Irving Flap, now at the controls of the smaller plane on top, shows his confidence in this fantastic glue by loading the lower airplane with 143 tons of lint and daring to fly with nothing but glue between him and the plane below. The 143 tons of lint proves too heavy, so instead they plan to load the plane next time with chicken feathers. Once again, Funny World scores a news beat with these thrilling action pictures taken by ace cameraman Autofocus. These men are actually welding and mounting an outside cover on a new home. Count on Funny World to bring you thrill after thrill. These secret films were taken last week by intrepid Funny World crews of photographers on location at the world-famous Deceit, Nebraska toy factory. Here in Deceit, these lifelike toy soldiers are being tested. If approved, these very toys you see will be on sale at toy stores all over the world. To determine whether or not you are buying a lifelike, manufacturers urge you to look at the label for the famous Deceit sign. It isn't very often Funny World's executive staff finds time to break away from busy office routine, so they usually call in barbers to shave them while continuing their work without interruption. Shown here is Clyde Croich, Funny World's exciting, expensive Hollywood correspondent. Clyde just returned from an assignment with a film company making a new jungle series. He was gone with them on location in the jungle for 17 years. Croich has taken on some of the native characteristics of the jungle, but he's still the same old lovable Clyde we knew. Funny World salutes its own Clyde Croich. Funny World takes you inside the worn-out Brothers movie company, and this spaceship is going on location to the moon. And these technicians are putting wild wolves aboard. The ticker tape is feeding out information about weather conditions so they'll know which route to take. The animals will be used in all the night scenes, which will show 10,000 wolves howling every time the Earth comes up. The name of the movie will be Shine On Harvest Earth, starring Rock Crater and Lunar Turner. Worn Out Brothers scores again. This is birdwatcher Winifred Weaselwump watching for a certain rare bird called the West Wind Warped-Winged Whistlewoofer. The only one on record was seen by a 98-year-old man in the spring of '06 as he lay waiting for the second appearance of Halley's Comet. It's a rare bird to find, and the reason Winifred wants one is that someone once gave her a book entitled The Care and Feeding of the West Wind Warped-Winged Whistlewoofer, and Winifred hates to throw away books. Don't give up, Winnie. This appears to be test pilot Irving Flap of Futility Aircraft preparing to launch his new blunt-nose monoflash, which travels at the speed of light. After months of waiting for the right moment, Irving is now ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8. He can scarcely hide the joy in his eyes as he gets ready to push the button. 4, 3, 2. At the last second, an old-fashioned jet gets in the way, and Irving calls it off for another day. In these dangerous times where only the men of imagination can survive in a world of rigid economy and fierce competition, we can't help but salute the enterprising genius of Tom Peeping, who has cornered the market in the window washing industry. In a bold attempt to increase business, instead of going to the customer's house to wash the windows, Tom moves the house to his factory. And for rush jobs where the customer must have 24-hour service, Tom uses atomic-powered submarines to whisk the houses back and forth at double speed. A Funny World salute to Tom Peeping, window washer of the week. Funny World brings you exclusive films of Irving Flap, test pilot for Futility Aircraft using exotic fuels. Irving is about to test a new airmail delivery method with super rocket power. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here it goes! Dateline, Coney Island. The largest group of professional models ever hired for one film commercial. Here you see the latest in trunks. Now these are latest designs in swimwear by Mothhole of Beverly Hills. Worn by 126,547 professional models. What a bill. Here we see famous high diver Fearless Frank Plummet and a classic form that has won him 17 gold medals, 6 loving cups, 5 blue ribbons, 2 wives, a lawsuit, torn ligaments, sore back, a horrible outlook on life. In fact, I get mad even talking about it. Why don't we go on to the next film there, huh? Funny World's automotive research staff puts the latest Detroit model through its paces at Mudhole, Florida. Designed for getting into crowded picnic areas, this sports model takes to water like a duck. And when it comes to mud, this car has a ball. Our test driver, Hobart Smash, is behind the wheel. Better watch it, Hobart. I think that other car is heading your way. Hobart, be careful. For goodness sake, watch it. Hobart, where are you? Calling Hobart Smash. Hobart, come in, Hobart. Here we are in Soar Heel, Texas. Whatever happened to the walkathon? They went the other way, men. You're going the wrong way. Funny World shows you a walking race. Now, this tiring test of endurance is made even more difficult by the new rules this year. The rules are, at no time can your feet leave the pavement. Sponsored by the Fleetfoot Shoe Repair Company, this race goes on both night and day over Hill and Dale and Sam and George. And anybody else who gets in the way. But it's all worth the work. Funny World's What Is It department. Is it an orbiting potato peeler? A mobile clothes dryer? Is it a hair dryer for large heads? Frankly, I don't know what it is. it's a funny world here at our New York head office. This is the Funny World editorial and production staff at the annual summer party. Lots of fun, dancing, and no kissing games. With blithe spirits, the order of the day. But tomorrow, back to the office, and no monkey business. Slippery Rock, Wisconsin. An early summer has been predicted for Slippery Rock this year in light of this spring-like day that took the residents by surprise. This unusual hot spell brought back memories of 1936 when summer came on a Sunday. And welcomed by everyone, this heat wave gave folks a chance to take those long walks and let their cares slide. In Los Angeles, Hobart Mole, inventor, shows us his answer to the rapid transit problem. Individual, personalized sewer carts. Using the city's existing sewer system, the busy businessman leaves the house, drops down a hole in the street, and zooms away to the office. Boom. Watch your head there, Hobart. Nevada. Here we see the new Las Vegas gambling game, Vertical Roulette. See how this lady examines the ticker tape report of the day's odds. Even her husband has picked up a new game called Vertical Roulette. And here is the plush lounge at the casino. Now note the care with which they mix their cocktails, measuring exact amounts. You just can't hold a candle to service like this. Of course, there's a gay crowd there, as you can hear. This one filled with sand is known as a flip-top clock. Here's a floating crap game. And here is a lovely lady's wristwatch by Cumbersome of Beverly Hills. Well, here's Irving Flap, famous test pilot for Futility Aircraft Company, pictured here at the Futility Proving Grounds at Ups and Downs, England. Irving proves that in spite of his ups and downs, all right, Irving, he just can't get it off the ground. Another famous last from Futility Aircraft and Funny World.